It's the one industry Americans love to hate. From high prices to poor service, cable companies routinely rank at the bottom of consumer satisfaction surveys. That was reinforced last month when a tech journalist called Comcast to cancel his service, only to get badgered over his decision.
I'm just trying to figure out here what it is about Comcast service that you're not liking, that you're not wanting to keep. I mean, why is it that you don't want to keep that service?
This phone call is a really actually amazing representative example of why I don't want to stay with Comcast. So can you please cancel our service?
All right, well, Comcast has since apologized, saying the call does not represent the company's values. Determining whether Comcast is sincere about that will be the responsibility of my next guest. Karen Charles Peterson was just sworn in today as the Commissioner of Telecommunications and Cable for the state of Massachusetts. Welcome back to Greater Boston. Because I should disclose that Karen Charles used to be our booker here for many, many years on Greater Boston. I feel like we're responsible for catapulting you into state government because the governor got to know you through here, and you've had many jobs, including at the RMV, and now here you are at Telecommunications.
Yes, I owe all of this to you, Emily. Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. So what did you think when you heard that phone call from Comcast?
I said, wow. But, you know, we have a consumer division at the DTC, and we sometimes get calls from consumers in the Commonwealth who are having a difficult time getting through to Comcast and other cable companies. Yeah. And we try to help them navigate through the system. So
I mean, one of the problems is that it's such a large company. I mean,
right.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of calls a day.
Absolutely.
I really don't know. I mean, I've called sometimes 3 times a week just to resolve some kind of thing. And you're going through that push button. One guy once gave me his cell phone. I mean, really, I could have married him on the spot. It's like, I know I got somebody's cell phone to come in, but I mean, does that kind of stuff come to your attention too? I mean, just the frustration of trying to, even like what that guy was going through, just trying to change simple service.
So I don't work for the cable industry, but I would have to say that I would imagine that's an anomaly, what happened to that consumer. But yeah, so that does happen. And when consumers get a bit frustrated, they have questions that are not being answered. The DTC is there to answer those questions, or at least help them figure out how to get to the right person at Comcast so they can get their answers.
I mean, are you also regulatory, Karen? Because, again, one of the frustrations is all this bundling that goes along. I mean, that I have cable stations that, I mean, I pay for premium because I'm in the news business and I want to see everything and click around, but things I've never even looked at. I mean, in the 500s or the 9, I don't even know what they are. I mean, can you regulate that kind of thing? It's about the cost is what I'm getting at. People don't want to pay for stuff they're not using.
Right. So can we, the DTC, regulate that? No. So what we regulate at the DTC, the Department of Telecommunications and Cable, is your basic cable rate. Basic cable. Plain and simple. So we do not regulate the bundled, all of the other additional things that a consumer will add on to their cable package. We just regulate the basic cable rate.
So they've been able to come back and successfully gotten you all to increase that too. And it seems like the basic cable rate should be really basic, but it's not really.
It's pretty basic.
What is it?
So in Boston, it's probably not over $7. But
$7.
Yeah, but
for what?
But just for basic, so just the local stations.
Oh, so you get 4, 5, 7, 2.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but don't quote me on that $7. But you're
getting over-the-air stations on your cable, but you're not getting any cable stations.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just your basic cable,
which nobody does anymore.
There are a few people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you feel like you can do? Because there have been frustrations, as you know, in some of the communities of color that there were no choices. I mean, friends of mine could only go with direct TV or RCN if they couldn't. I mean, can you get involved in those kinds of things?
So yes and no. So we do not regulate satellite, so direct TV.
No, I know that, but I'm saying there's been frustration that people couldn't get cable, so they had to go with satellite instead.
So each, all of the 351 cities and towns in the Commonwealth, they advocate for services, the various cable companies to come in and sort of provide service to their residents. We don't get into that battle. We leave it up to the cities and towns and the companies that want to service those cities and towns. We are sort of the appeals body, and so when there is an issue, then they come to us and we try to resolve that issue.
Like what kinds of things?
So, for instance, as you know, Comcast and Time Warner, they're merging, right? So they need to, Comcast, they need to go to the cities and towns that currently have Time Warner, and they need to sort of work with those cities and towns regarding the merger, and those cities and towns need to approve the merger. If there's a conflict, if there's an issue there that bubbles up and they can't come to a resolution, they come and get it appealed. If the merger happens on the bigger level, they come back to the DTC.
Because once again, some of the issues with those is about blocking channels, or there's political.
Absolutely. There could be anything could bubble up. And, if it's an issue that they can't resolve, the DTC is there to assist.
Mm-hmm. Is it a political job?
No. No. I have worked at the DTC for the past 3 years as the chief of staff. So the governor didn't just.
No. But I mean, is it politically appointed? Is it kind of political in terms of the fact that you're negotiating with stuff and you're.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
No, I didn't know you mean an appointment.
Okay. So, we're not negotiating with the cable companies. We, again, leave that up to the cities and towns. But we are here to help assist, help support those communities.
All right, we're going to give people your cell phone number. All right. Karen Charles Peterson, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.